how's it going? We're coming with another video today. It's autotips.ca. Today we're gonna be talking about some safety tips on winter season. What stuff that you gotta look after, so that way you can have a safe season. Autotips is all about saving you money. Today we're gonna be looking at some 5 basic stuff, starting with the wipers, your winter tires, tire pressure. We're gonna discuss it all on this Toyota Corolla. We're working on a 2008 Toyota Corolla. So let's do this. So as always, whenever you're working on a car, protect your hands, your eyes. It's very important. Make sure use all the safety precautions. So we're gonna start with the wipers. We gotta make sure the wipers are working properly. Like you can see, it's leaving a residue here and there. So definitely those wipers, they're not gonna be working. Make sure your horn is working, your signal lights, signal lights, horn, high lights, high beam, low beam. If you have fog lights, you gotta turn those on. This car doesn't have a fog light, so no worries. You gotta look at your battery. It's got a little bit of buildup here on your positive. That's not good. So you gotta make sure you could use some soda, so that way this acid doesn't rust your body, so you can clean it up properly. Make sure it's gotta be at least below -40 or so, unless you live like way out there. That's important. So you gotta fill it up, because if you put a summer windshield, it's gonna freeze. You're not gonna have your windshield. This is just basic stuff. I'm gonna tell you guys, this is your coolant. You gotta make sure the freezing point on the coolant is pretty good, because guess what? If you don't have good freezing point, your engine might seize. So this is pretty good. If you see it, the gauge is over here. Other than that, you don't want to be stranded. You got to make sure your clamps, hose clamps are all good. Your belts, basic stuff. And because during winter, we have the car running longer for warm up, stuff like that, definitely you got to have a good air filter. You got to open this, check your air filter. Definitely this is bad, so we got to replace that. That's probably the most frequently checked thing. Another thing is, you don't want the car like running, idling all the time, because obviously the car is using more gas during winter, so it's better for you to warm up while the car is moving, So idling, it always kills your engine. It's not really good because there's no air going through it, so you have to limit the idling time. We're gonna throw in new wipers. Make sure your signal lights are working, because the reaction time during winter, it's very low, I'll leave this one open actually, because we still gotta put the filter in there. Transmission fluid, definitely. This is very dirty. Yeah, I'll definitely flush the transmission. Yeah, this is pretty bad. The car, I mean, we go through a lot during winter. Imagine the car goes just through a lot of other stuff, so you want to make it safe. So now we're going to lift up the car to make sure the front end is good. When we have the car up here, we have the car in neutral, so always you got to make sure you check your upper strut mount. There's no binding in there. I'll show you guys once we bring the car down. We did a few videos on this. You check your plate while we're here. Make sure always, unless you have a sensor inside your dash, a lot of cars are made after 2008. They have a mandatory tire monitor system. We have some videos on those. But always make sure manually to check it. If you don't have that, check your tire pressure, follow the recommendations. It's always located on your driver's side door. You don't want to drive with low pressure. The same thing here. We're gonna check the front end, check any play, any binding on the upper strut mount. So what we're checking on the upper strut mount is, this is the part, that's like, this is your spring, so the upper strut mount is all the way up, so it has a bearing. So every time you turn, if you hear like a clunk sound, usually that could be the issue, You check the plate, it looks solid. If you look at these tires here, I don't think they can make it for the winter. You need a good thread tires, definitely for the winter. You can see this is almost bottom down. So definitely we're gonna recommend winter tires on this car. So we got this tire out. We got this tire out of the way. We look at your brakes, they look pretty good. Over here, I don't know if you can see, make sure this bushing has got no play. These are your flex hoses, brake flex hoses here. Make sure they're all not tangled or there's no cracks on them. Because like I said, winter, that's when the most cars, they go through a lot of severe stuff. So make sure everything is working in tip-top shape. So you got your axle boot here, because this is full of grease. So if it's ripped off, definitely in the winter, it'll be really messy in there, because the grease will go to your brakes. And then the brakes, they're not gonna operate properly because obviously you're not gonna have friction. Your exhaust, oxygen sensors, brake line is definitely, these are nice. They're coated with plastic, so it's really good. Toyota actually, they update on those ones. Overall, this is the best time to check before winter what is needed. Hopefully you guys find these helpful tips. We're gonna be bringing you fresh videos. Auto Tips is all about saving you money and giving you safety tips. View on that ABS video that we did last week. It's helpful. If your ABS system doesn't function, definitely it's a safety feature. Peace.